Hello everybody, this is Ariane Arsenault. This is just a really quick video, and I've had a lot of questions about my mini candles, and specifically I've had wax questions and wick questions. So we all know that the HTP Wicks have been discontinued, and they're out of stock from most suppliers at the moment. And many people asked me which wicks I was using in my mini candles. And one of the reasons why I didn't really mention is because I knew that HTP Wicks, at the moment, they are not available. So I've been using the HTP Wicks in my candle making since the very beginning. I mostly use HTP 105 and HTP 1212, but I do have in my candle making equipment, I have pretty much every size of HTP Wicks available on the market because I keep them for testing purposes. Now, I have still many HTP Wicks on hand. I have like 3,000 of the 1212, and I have 1,500 of the 105, which I use for my small thins. And I did mention in a previous video, or I think it was a question that was asked by a viewer in the comment sections, like they were asking me, what are you doing with your trimmings of your wicks? So this is what I do. So I have a bag that I wrote HTP 105, and I have one for my 1212s as well. And I keep all of my wick trimmings in this bag. Now, these wicks are long enough that I can reuse them in another candle easily, which is why I keep them. So you need to have some wick tabs, a pair of pliers, and you're good to go, and to reinsert the trimmings into a tab, and I'm going to show you how to do that. The reason why the HTP Wicks are discontinued right now is because the manufacturer, which is Atkins & Pierce, is not able to buy the yarn that they have been using for years to make the HTP Wicks, because that supplier stopped making the yarn or went out of business. I can't really remember, but Atkins & Pierce are not out of business, but one of their supplies is. So when the chain of supply breaks, they need to find another source of supplies to make their wicks. So HTP Wicks are gone right now, but they will be back, and they will be re-engineered. I have not tested the new ones yet. Hopefully I'll be able to test them soon, but I have seen videos from Tim at Black Tie Barn Candle Co. And I know that he has some samples of the new ones, so I'm hoping I can find them as well. So here's what I do to save my leftover trimmings. I take a wick tab, and it has a flat bottom and then a little insert here. So I push my wick from the bottom all the way up, and then with my finger I align it to the bottom of the tab. And I'll do this like in a row. I'll make a whole bunch. So I push them up, and this way I make 2 candles out of 1 wick. So you just like put some good music on and and prepare your wicks. And I really like to buy the pre-tabbed wicks, but I also do not like to throw away something that is still good to use, which is why I've always been saving my trimmings. And right now that the HTP Wicks are out of stock everywhere, I'm pretty happy that I was keeping my trimmings because I can reuse them, and I have a lot. This is not my only bag. So, okay, so you do a whole bunch, and then you take the pliers, and you're gonna go ahead and pinch the little cylinder here so that the wick then isn't free moving in there, and it actually grabs to the bottom of the wick tab. So, pinch, pinch, and that's it. Super easy. You just need to get some wick tabs, and as far as I know, those are still available in the market. If you've been saving your wick trimmings, now you can make some new wicks with them. And if you weren't saving your wick trimmings and you still have some HTP Wicks on hand, keep them. Don't throw them away, because they're perfectly fine to use again. Now let's talk about my wax blend. When Eco Soya went out of business, when it was owned by NGI a couple years ago, maybe it was a year and a half or 2 years ago, I started buying lots of waxes, mostly vegetable waxes, soy, coconut, apricot, many vegetable waxes, and started testing. You wouldn't even believe the amount of test candles I've made in the past year and a half. And two of the waxes that I really like and combined together are the Nature Wax C6 as well as the Coconut 83. Now, Nature Wax C6 is mostly a soy blend with a little bit of coconut oil. Its characteristics are very similar to a soy wax. It is very white, hard, firm, and kind of chalky, while the Coconut 83 is a very soft, pliable coconut wax. You can actually go through it with your fingers without any effort. It's very smooth and creamy. So because I like the C6 and the coconut characteristics, I decided to blend them together because the C6 on its own, I find that when it burns and the wax recongeals, it looks like a cauliflower surface on the wax, and I'm not in love with that. I know it's only aesthetic. Other than that, it burns fine. But by adding a little bit of the smooth coconut wax, it kind of gives a smoother texture to this candle. So my wax blend is, so for example, if you have 100 grams of wax in your blend, I would use 90 grams of the Nature Wax C6 and then 10 grams of the Coconut 83. Now to that, I will calculate my recipe with my fragrance load. So if you add 12% fragrance, just do your 12% of fragrance, and then the rest would be wax. If you do 8% of your blend would be fragrance oil, and then the rest of the 100% total would be wax. So that's what I do. I got lots of comments about my tins, beautiful compliments, so thank you everybody. I got these through a company called Twisted Sisters Packaging LLC. They're actually a pre-buy group, so they don't necessarily have items listed at all times, but you can be a member of the pre-buy group, and then when they do bulk orders, then you can jump in and you can get all kinds of packaging, not just for candle making. I will leave the link to their website down below. Now to fix my wicks, I am now using Red RTV, which is a gasket maker, and I'll link that it's actually in my Amazon shop, so I'll leave the link down below. And then I press it in the center of my tin, and I take a wick centering tool, and these are from A Candle Co. I will also leave the link down below. And once the wicks have been glued with the gasket maker to the bottom of the tins, I'll leave them for a minimum of an hour, but usually I do this the day before, and then I make my candles on the next day to make sure that the gasket maker is completely solidified, dried, and that it won't be moving from there. The gasket maker was recommended to me by Jeff Stanley, and he's been using it because it holds to temperatures all the way up to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. So there should not be a problem with heat when it comes to adhesion with this product. Voila, the tins are wicked. I will let these set until tomorrow, or until I get my wax actually, because I'm out of the C6. I still have a lot of the 83 in stock, but the C6, I am waiting for my next delivery, which should be today by the end of day. So fingers crossed, I'm gonna get it soon. Now let's talk about wax pouring temperatures. I also got comments and questions about that. If you go to your supplier's website, every wax will have a recommended melt temperature, pour temperature, fragrance oil to add temperature, all of that. Because I am using a wax blend, I kind of went and played in between. I find that for this wax blend, and my studio is usually at like 21, 20, 22 degrees Celsius, which is not cold, not too hot. And I pour at around 165 Fahrenheit. Coconut oil likes to be poured at really high temperatures, up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. While the C6, the temperatures varies depending on your room temp between 120 to 185 degrees Fahrenheit. So I kind of played in between that. I made tests, and 165 Fahrenheit what worked the best for me. It gives me really nice smooth tops. When I poured at lower temperature, it gave me like kind of a muddled top. It was kind of bumpy and lumpy. So that's what works the best for me. You may need to test and experiment depending on the temperature of your studio. I do not heat my jars before pouring. I just pour at room temperature because I don't have any like warmers to put my tins on or anything like that. So, and it works fine. It works great actually. So I hope this answers many of your questions, and I will see you guys again actually making products and not just prepping for something. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new. I hope my video helped some of you guys. If I did, please let me know in the comment section below. If you are a maker, I encourage you to join our Facebook group called Makers Collabs. It is for makers of all horizons, candles, soap, cosmetics, other crafts as well. So please join us. I will leave the link down below. Take care, everybody, and I will see you guys very soon. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and also if you want some more classes and courses, you can also check my Patreon campaign. You can also sign up to Zahida's class, which is an affiliated link down below. And if you want to support my channel in any other way, you can shop using my links. Have a great day. Take care.